Paranormal Evidence.
Tonight, see what truly exists inside the world of the paranormal. Inside. Join the discussion and review some of the best paranormal evidence captures from a wide variety of experienced and up-and-coming investigators. See and hear what they capture, where they captured it, and how they captured it. Right now on Entity Voices
Paranormal Evidence.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Entity Voices Paranormal Evidence. I am Chris.
I am Audra.
I am Tony.
Cherie. I am Lourdes.
I am not any of those people, and that's okay too.
Okay, too.
I did it. I went there. Now that we have reduced the level of the show, I'm Ron Yacovetti. Let's get started.
There you go.
We always manage to reduce that level right before we can.
You're welcome.
So, did everybody have a good week?
And
Yep, we did.
yeah. The weekend.
She does this every time.
Well, because the weekend just ended. I don't count last week. That's too far away.
Nah, I hear you. We're still
I got a
recovering
new
from.
puppy.
I
Aw.
I
saw.
saw. Yeah.
You just had it right there, didn't you?
Huh?
You just had it, didn't you?
Yeah, yesterday.
No,
you
you mean
No, you had him in your hand.
Um,
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
That was Charlie.
you changed his name?
From Jax to Charlie. I don't know. I'm confused.
We?
Yeah.
She's like, Charlie. He's like, I thought my name was Jack. What the hell?
He's not a Charlie Russell, is he?
No, he's Prince Charles III. Not his name. I mean, that's in his description.
Spaniel, yeah. Prince Charles or King Charles Spaniel.
Something like that.
Mini Pooh or whatever. His name.
No wonder he's confused.
Like they just said, King Charles took a poo, and we got a dog.
Take it however it flows into you. That's fine.
E-I-E-I-O. There it is.
Oh,
All right, guys. Well, not discussing poo anymore. Let's talk something exciting.
yes.
So for those of you who don't know, our guest tonight is Kayla Simonton. Kayla is the founder and lead investigator for Dayton Haunted Explorers out of Dayton, Ohio.
Yay!
Go Box. She's been a paranormal guest investigator.
One more time.
Start again.
Back to poo. We're back to poo.
She is a paranormal investigator for 10 years, mostly solo. What's up, Everett?
Cray.
She's a psychic medium, paranormal enthusiast, teacher for those who wish to experience the paranormal, and she's proud to announce that she's opening 2 new locations in Middletown, Ohio for paranormal investigations, public and private. It's an 1893 opera house and an 1883 Masonic Temple.
That's so cool.
Hey, Scott. So for those of you who don't know Kayla, you are missing out. She is phenomenal. Everybody welcome Kayla into the show. All right, Kayla.
Wow,
Welcome.
thank you.
Hi.
What a welcome.
I know.
How
So
are
happy to
you?
have you?
We are
I'm
happy
excited
have
to
you back.
see everybody again.
Yes.
Good to have you back.
You good people. I missed you.
I missed you. Missed even from just seeing you at
Gettysburg.
Gettysburg.
It's been so long.
I know, right?
Feels that way. Feels
It
that way.
does.
Yes, it does.
Race Hobbs, we've seen him but somewhere before. That's a new viewer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes,
It's been a while since he popped on.
it has.
You might hear a strange sound in the background. That's my cat downstairs. I just realized is going insane.
Oh,
That's
Oh, we were
okay.
hoping you were going to say you had live evidence for us. but-
yeah.
It might be. It could be.
That's why the cat's going insane. He's like, "There's somebody
Yeah.
having 3 o'clock."
I'm trying to talk here.
All right, Kayla, for the viewers that don't know you, tell us what got you into the paranormal.
For me, I was always interested in it. I just kind of wanted to see for myself if there was any validity to it. So I went out and bought a recorder and started. And once I started getting a response, I'm like, oh my God, I'm hooked, so just kind of kept going after that. We're just, rolling. And here we are. Like now I have these locations. So I'm like super excited about that. But I started with using like the Frank's box back in the day. I used that. I had a single recording on a voice recorder that I would use, and I would like play it over and over and over again, but I would get different responses with it all the time. And I'm like, okay, some things like this is wild. Like there's so much we don't understand. So I don't know, just a lot of experimenting. It keeps me interested, It's always weird. I love it.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, now she's calling us weird.
Well, she's
I said Ron's weird. I didn't say you.
Oh, okay. Noted.
It's because the K2 joke.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. I've been waiting years to do that.
I'm like,
He's got a whole list of jokes for the show that he hasn't gotten to yet. He's like,
oh no,
It was on the table, and I was like,
got to do it. You know what? The other day I was going to work and I'm like, give me a sign. I need to go ghost hunting. And a semi pulled out in front of me. And on the back, it was like K2. I was like, you got to be kidding me.
That's a sign.
Thank you. Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
like any of us need a sign.
No, you don't. But ask and you shall receive. That's what I'm saying. It's weird. You never know how this stuff's going to work out.
Right.
yeah.
True.
So we've got some stuff to cover with Kayla tonight. She's got some stuff from home.
Woohoo.
She's got some stuff from the Masonic Temple.
Wow.
And then where were the pictures at? A little mixture of both, but the one picture with the evidence in it.
I sent you, I believe, the one with the man and the woman, and that was caught the other day at the Sword Commercial Building, which is across the street. So
Nice.
that is atop the Opera House. So we have the, it's like 4 floors in addition to the Opera House above, where it's got like a ballroom, 29 rooms. It's
Wow.
gigantic. So,
Wow.
but they don't care. I mean, broad daylight, you'll see them walking around and stuff. So that is what I believe is in that picture.
That's
Okay,
fantastic.
cool.
Yes.
You know what? If before we get into it, I actually like you to speak to something real fast to give a perspective we don't always hear on the show. But when we're guests on shows, a lot of times they go, "Where do you do your sessions?" Because we do direct radio voice constantly. And said,
Yeah.
if we're not out in the field, we do it here. This is our studio space, and we
Yeah.
do it for research purposes. We can't go out and rent the place every week. So you have evidence tonight that you got at home, and there are people in the field, probably more on the newer side, but still some that will not turn devices on. They do not want to do something in their home. What is your, I don't want to say what's right or wrong, because I think it's personal, but what's your perspective on that? Why is that something that's not taboo to you? Why are you open to that?
I was a little apprehensive, like, okay, maybe I shouldn't do that, but then once I realized it really is everywhere, I mean, it doesn't make a difference. There aren't walls surrounding everything, especially in the spirit world. So I think as long as you're smart and you're like, you open it well and you close it out, no different than any other device, there's no problem with it.
I love that answer because you said it perfectly. They are everywhere.
Yeah.
And you can be at the most haunted location and get voices from spirits that are nowhere near that location.
Yeah. I get them from all down the street. I mean, it's,
right. Right. So, I mean, to do it in your home, is that any different? I mean, we've done that for 13 years.
Now.
Yeah. And I don't see anything wrong with it.
I mean, have we had stuff happen that we're like, oh crap, what was that? Yeah, we have. But
I think we all have.
Right. I mean, it's a risk of doing it where you live, but sometimes it's nice to not have to feel like you have to go travel and flip it on and see what happens. So great answer.
Thank you.
Yeah, no, I thought that was a great answer too. And there's the concept of no time, space, right? In the realm of spirit and then non-locality. Tony and I have had similar voices and names come through to both of us within days.
Yep.
And I don't think they were on Spirit Airlines. Haha. So,
That's
you
a
know,
good one.
yeah, it's gonna be a bad night for me. Let me just say right.
Here we go.
But yeah, that's what you said was a good answer for. I agree with Tony for the same reasons. I think that there's a certain permanence to the spirit realm, and it's not just when you go to a location.
Yeah. I mean, I did have an apartment. I was at for like a few years, and I tried when I moved in. I'm like, hey, is anybody here? You want to talk? Like, just mess around. They said no. And I tried again, and they said no. And I said, okay, well, obviously someone's here because you're answering me. But I get it. I respect it. I'll leave it alone. I didn't bother them. So if they want to talk, they're going to find a way,
Right.
So.
Exactly.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
There's evidence.
Let's jump into your evidence. This one says caught on sleeping app. So I assume that you were asleep in bed.
Correct.
All right, let's go ahead and take a listen.
So soon.
Wow.
Wow.
A lot.
Yeah.
So
More
before,
than one? Talking to each other, more than one?
Yeah, there's like a whole family here. And the little kids recently started calling me mommy. I'm like, yeah, no. No, not your mommy.
Wow.
Sure, it's not the dad.
Could be the dad. Sorry, I'm not what you're looking for.
so I'm not familiar with what a sleeping app is. So it records while you're sleeping?
Yep. You can use any of them. I have it, and it just runs in the background while you're asleep. You hit start, and it'll go. And basically, it's to capture if you're like snoring or other things. But it should pick it up. But what mine picks up, and I run it almost every night, is that. So it's endless files of talking all the time. So.
That's awesome.
Yeah, but it's worth a shot. I mean, it's kind of like a voice activated, recorder. So,
right.
Well, the main
find a free one and download it.
Yeah. The main purpose of them is to record what you're doing at night. So if you're having trouble sleeping, you use the app. It says, "Hey, you farted 3 times. You coughed.
Yeah.
You turned over 3 times. You were breathing heavy. This is why you're not sleeping well."
Yes.
Well, now we know why Kayla's not sleeping well because
Yes.
she's got a whole family in her house.
We're trying not to wake her up.
Yeah, they're trying not to wake her up.
I did like that though. I was like, yes, thank you so much. I mean it. I'm like, yes. I don't
that.
hear them.
I like that for 2 reasons. I like that one because it's obviously really, really good evidence capture. It's a very low-toned EVP. But I also like it too because another point of contention that we deal with a lot, and we do again when we're guests on shows, being ITC people, is we get asked about apps is one of the things we get asked about. And it's interesting because what I always say is that any app can work even if you don't trust it because it's on the electronic device that they can manipulate.
Exactly.
So there may be false positives built in that could happen there. You have to be careful. You have to know how it works, etc.
Right.
But
right. Yeah.
that speaks to the efficacy of the device being a piece of electronics because that was not a ghost app. That was as to quote Chris Allgood, farting and snoring and but it got voices.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and what was so great about the voices is that they clearly showed intelligence. They identified her. They called her by name. They said that's her name. She's sleeping. You know, it's just the relevance to what was happening and the interaction with what's being said. I mean, that just plays phenomenal importance in the fact that what you captured had validity, because they stated so many things that wouldn't have been known if that's not what was happening. So that was really cool.
Yeah, it just shows that they're watching, you know, like they're aware.
They're always watching. Sometimes
yeah.
way too much.
Yeah.
I have a question, Kayla. So now you caught them on the recording. Did you try to communicate with them?
I've talked to them actually, yeah, like many times. I also put a camera in there facing the doorway, because once I posted that, somebody said it was like me talking, because they didn't visually see it. And I'm like, okay, I've listened to that 100 times. You know, I'm like, let me make sure it's not me sleep talking. You can hear me breathing under the conversation. Because I try to debunk anything before I'm going to post it. But yeah, I've used like different apps. I've used all, you know, different radio stuff, and I've tried everything. And I mean, I can honestly sit there and like turn this on and take a video, and it'll pick stuff up.
Phones are very good at doing it.
Sure.
This works so well. It's unreal.
The quality of the mics within the higher or newer phones and the quality of the video cameras and picture taking. I mean, most companies outside of Nikon, who just released the last one they're going to release, but because of the quality of phones, DSRs are going to stop existing.
Yeah. It's funny. We were just talking about this today. But yeah, it's true. I mean, you don't need all of that when you have this.
Right. I always use my phone when we're doing EVP.
Some of the best EVPs we've ever captured came from her phone.
Yeah. Oh, I believe it. And it's so it's just so easy. I mean, you have your flashlight, your camera, your video, there's apps recording, like anything you need to do. It's in your pocket. Like I tell our guests, you know, you don't need to go out and buy everything. Like to start, use this, you know, you already have it, you know.
Well, that's a good. Frankie Adele wants to know what the name of the sleep app is.
I think honestly, you can use any of them.
It's called Ghost Apnea.
Ghost Apnea.
I have sleep apnea.
Oh my goodness.
It
He's
is.
on a roll.
I'm sorry.
It's the sleep monitor.
Well, look at
Sleep
that.
monitor. Okay.
Sleep monitor.
Well, and to point out what Kayla was saying, people are saying, was it you talking in your sleep? So let me teach you something about deep sleep breathing versus speaking in your sleep. It's two different consciousness, right? Yeah. So if you can hear Kayla deep breathing, she's in a deep REM sleep to where she's not going to talk, because that comes at a deeper subconscious level when you're sleeping, is sleep talking. So the two can't mix. So when you can hear Kayla talking, it physically cannot mix without her waking up.
Yeah,
She would know if she was talking.
JT Bricard in the chat also wanted to know if thought some of the noises in the background could have been the cat, and that's a good question to ask, because you have a cat.
Yeah. So
but the cat's not doing pots and pans though.
No, that's cabinets. That's the cats are always on the bed with me. That's why I put the camera in there, because I'm like, I need to validate, because people are going, okay, you're doing this and you're doing that, and I need to see, and I need to, you know, so I'm like, okay, well, I think I've got everything covered. I'm not comfortable with putting more.
Right.
It was really weird for me to even put a camera in there. I'm like, let's just face this towards the door, not me. You know, I want to watch myself. It's weird.
Yeah,
Hi, Katie.
Cats don't have thumbs, so that probably rules the cabinet part out.
They do not. Mine don't.
And they usually don't say her name's Kate or her name's Kayla. She's upstairs sleeping.
Sometimes they talk, sometimes they don't. It's like a hit or miss. What they want to do. This one though, you gotta watch. He gets into everything.
Oh
no, I don't.
And he has thumbs.
He has thumbs. Look at these. He's like, Mom, stop. Mom, my hair's sticking up. I wasn't ready.
So the next piece of evidence is actually from that camera that Kayla was just talking about. The wax warmer thrown on the floor?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
All right, here we go.
Slept through the whole thing.
All right, here we go.
Wow.
Wow. Huh.
I wish I had a better angle to actually see it fall off, but
The cat's went to investigate.
I know. And I'm going, oh my God, what did you guys do? You know, and then I checked the camera and I'm like, they were both by me. You see them come from the opposite side. You know, you would have seen them. Just was weird. Firstly, I wanted to blame them, you know.
Of course.
Always.
That's a cat-like thing to do, to knock stuff over. But that's I was just saying to Lourdes that I liked that you could see the cat walk into frame, not where the incident happened.
Yeah. Once I saw them, I saw one, I'm going, okay, where's the other one? Then I see the other one and I'm like, oh, okay. All right. We got something else going on, you know. But so like I told you guys, we had just done the funeral home and I brought home a lot of different spirits with me. Like I think like 15 to 20 spirits. Wow. And they were traumatizing me. It was a very not restful like week or two that I had. And I think that is the last day they were there is when that happened. And then after that, I had to get help because I was trying every day, you know, I'm like, you guys got to go. You guys got to go. They were reckless. I mean, it was not good. I've never had it like that. And then when I woke up and saw that, I'm like, all right, this is getting out of control. And I knew it wasn't my family I have here because they know, you know, my one rule, I'm like, don't touch my stuff. Like, you can do whatever you want to do and like get into stuff and like whatever, but you're not going to touch, you know, anything. Like I don't want breaking. I'm not doing any of this unless you're going to pay for it.
Frank Barone right there. It was almost a catastrophe. Thank you.
No, don't encourage it.
I love it.
If the cat would have been closer, it would have got waxed.
It would have been a hairless cat.
I'm going to go ahead and leave.
No, we're going to scare Kayla off.
On that note, no.
Oh, no, Kayla's used to us.
That's cool, though. I like that. So far, the evidence already has unique qualities to them, to both of them.
Right.
Thank you.
That was
cool.
Weird.
That was a weird one for me, but
yeah.
That doesn't rhyme with any of us. That was a weird one for me. Don't lie, Kayla. All of us hunt ghosts as a hobby. Some of us talk to them when we're at home.
I'm normal though. Like I'm like normal. You know?
Yeah.
I'm cool.
She's a normal
Normal.
weirdo. She's a normal weirdo.
Just gotta try to convince you guys. You know, it'll work.
You're in the wrong group of people to try and say I'm normal. Compared to the 6 of us, yeah, you might be just a tad normal.
Yeah.
Wait, but I fit in really well with you guys, so like
Yes,
now I'm
you
just
do.
confused.
Which also contradicts what I just said. So, so this next clip is at the Masonic Temple that Kayla now runs for private and public investigations, which we're going to talk about and we'll show you some pictures of later on. We're going to have a little bit lengthy shameless plugs for Kayla tonight. But This one is a great piece of evidence, and you guys pay really close attention. Oh my God! No, it was a ghost.
I don't know why the screen.
Quirky.
It has Facebook user on the screen, but I can see it on my phone. That's Joe Fox that asked.
Yeah,
that.
that's Joe Fox. Yeah.
So
He wants to know if that's a Yorkie.
It's a Chihuahua Yorkie. He's a Chorky.
Chorky.
He's a chorky.
Chorky.
He's cute. Or a Yorahua. Yeah. Yorahua.
That sounds like something Anthony Simonelli would say.
Yorahua.
Oh my god.
Everybody caught that.
I love 2 minutes later, she busts out.
Yeah, it just clicked for me too. Yorahua.
I know.
As he flips her the bird.
Yeah, sorry.
Yorahua. All right, sorry guys.
You guys.
Here comes the Masonic Temple. Ghost runs away. Pay really close attention to this clip.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
That's a great one. I've
Yeah.
watched that one about 7 times, and I can't figure it out. Except
Is that lighter area in the ceiling? Is that by any chance a hole in the ceiling?
No, it's solid. It's solid.
Can we see that again? That was incredible. I need to see
Yeah.
that again.
I about passed out when I saw that. I'm like, oh
She
my
showed us,
God.
that in Gettysburg. She showed this to it on the phone, and at the first pass, we all kind of like saw it. We weren't sure what we saw. We pretty much missed it. And then she showed us
you
again,
gotta
and
rewatch.
we were like, "Holy crap! It's amazing when you see what's actually happening on that capture."
Yeah.
Here's the best part. Watch it as it goes up into the floor rafters, where it
Right,
actually
that's why I
goes
asked.
through the
Yeah.
floor.
It like sucks
Yeah.
up through it. It goes. It's
No, it
like,
actually
oh
goes
God, here
through
they
the
are.
woods. But the
No.
best part is if you watch it, the darkness behind it disappears as it
Right.
cuts up through the rafters. It's fantastic.
And there's a face that forms like lickety split in there too, by the way.
Yeah.
Oh, probably. I bet there is.
Yeah, here you go. Watch this. Yep, head, shoulder,
Good,
body.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's
That's
so
awesome.
weird.
That's awesome.
Thank you.
That's great.
So I wish I had more videos from the temple, but every time I've taken video from there, it is deleted once I walk out of the building. So I have nothing.
Wow.
I spent before that video. I'm lucky I even saw that, but I spent 2 days editing like the promo video for it, and I got men, women, children, all these EVPs, all this different stuff. And I'm like so excited to release it. And then when I go on the editor and I go to like upload it, all the edits are there, but the actual clip is gone. Like it was here, it was on my phone. I edited it completely for 2 straight days, and then it just was gone. I was like, I could have cried, you know. And then I went last Monday too. They did the same thing, and that was you guys that said you had a similar experience at a Masonic Temple, right? It happened again. I'm like, you got to be kidding me. I'm like, how can I show anybody?
I think it was at an Elks Lodge,
It was
right,
in
in
an
South
Elks
New
Lodge.
Jersey, and we were with Anthony Simonelli. It was a spirit box session, and there was 3 cameras running, and it said their recording will erase them.
No, it said they're recording. Yeah, that's right. We'll erase it.
We'll erase them.
We'll erase
We'll
them.
erase it. Yeah, and then boom, his cameras were wiped.
And yup.
Wow.
Yeah, and it
Wow.
was gone. It was gone.
That's
'cause
what they do. It's not.
we captured this I don't know, this light or something. Remember?
Yeah.
And it said that they're recording. We'll erase it, and they sure did. They erased it.
Yeah.
I went in, last week I went in and I recorded for like maybe an hour, and I'm like in the basement and stuff. I'm like, I'm going to get that again, you know, like, no, I didn't. But I went in and I'm like, okay, please allow me to like, I'm not going to exploit you. I'm not here to like, you know, make fun of anything. I'm like, I just want to like see you and hopefully we can get your story and get some get some of this out, you know? And they were like, yeah, okay, you can take your video, but you're not leaving with it, you know?
Yeah. Katie Hultley said they can mess with digital, and everybody's saying in the chat too that what happens in the temple stays in the temple.
Yes.
And the Masonic temples were supposed to be secretive too.
Yeah. It's not the first time. I mean, I've had it in a jail too, you know, and I've had like this one time I was at the Licking County Jail, and I was like on this floor by myself, and I'm like kept hearing this like whoosh sound, and I'm like, what is that? And I got out and I'm like looked down the hallway. It's pitch black, you know. I looked down and I saw this thing like doing this and like dragging a torso. It was like the scariest thing ever. So it was like a crawler, you know.
This past week,
huh?
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, but I mean, it was like pitch black in there, but this thing was darker than that. I mean, I was able to see the form of it. So I'm going, oh my God, here we go. And then after it's done, I'm going, I had a camera sitting on that bunk, you know, and I'm like, oh my God, it caught it. Oh my God, I caught that. I know I caught it. I'm so excited. And I get home and I watch it, and the camera's like, shh, 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 just turned right out of frame. And I'm like, you got to be kidding me. I was the only person on that floor. Like, there's no way. And it's on like a metal bed, you know?
Yeah.
Oh, I was so disappointed.
There was just
my
a guy.
spirit box went off in my book bag, and I'm like, ah! You know,
This past weekend at the Hoover House in Waynesboro, PA, we did a direct radio, and it kept saying basement, go to the basement. So this one guy, Don, goes down there with his recorder. He's asking questions, and he got this moment of, I guess it was an EVP, but it was a synthesized voice that had tonality to it. I forget what it said. And I was like, first I thought maybe he was picking up us doing the radio upstairs, but you don't hear the radio at any point except that one vocal. And then later on, we stepped out to grab something to eat. We came back. He goes, remember that recording I had? I went, what do you mean had? He goes,
it was gone.
It's gone.
it was gone. Wow.
It was gone.
Oh my! And that just makes your heart sink. You're like, no, because you're like, I got something really good. And why is it when it's something really good that they like, you know? No, you don't.
I remember you saying that at Gettysburg. You worked on that thing for a couple of days. You told us in Gettysburg you were ready to release this thing, and then the footage was gone. That's crazy.
I was upset. I was not happy.
If you have it, we take it away.
Yeah. That video, the basement one, is actually. So I sent, when I was down there, I sent like a clip on Messenger where you can like just hit the record thing, you know, and send it. And I sent that to somebody, and I go, oh, I'm in this basement. Oh, you know. And then when I watched it back, I had to screen record off that Messenger because the video that was on was gone. So that's like a screen recording of what I had sent somebody because I lost all the video. So.
Oh, wow.
I'm glad on that 1 30-second thing I actually caught something. So
yeah, you gotta back up everything you do there like multiple times, cloud upload it, everything. Just make them work for that erasing.
Yeah, for real.
Especially with the Masonic temples. Especially with the Masonic temples. It's been, you watch multiple ghost shows. I mean, Zach Baggins years ago did a Masonic temple in Minnesota, and all of their footage got erased from one in the temple area where they actually did.
I remember that episode, but did it get erased?
Yes, it got erased. Not all of their video, just the video from the temple portion where they used to conduct the ceremonies. That got erased, but it's very common for a female recording in a Masonic temple for her video to get wiped.
Right.
There's been
they had like the
shows
Eastern
that
Stars and stuff in there too. I mean, they had like multiple, groups that would use the temple at one point. So it just, I don't know.
So Courtney wants to know where was this temple?
So both of the buildings actually are across the street from each other, and they're in Middletown, Ohio.
Thank you for answering that.
You're very welcome.
And you're going to get that on the shameless plug here in a little while.
Yes.
Kyla's going to do a little infomercial for us.
An infomercial.
I'm excited.
Yeah. He's already got it pumped up and she's ready to go. So
that's so cool.
Let's look at some pictures. I'm going the wrong freaking way. So this is, tell us what that is, Kayla.
That's the back of the Sorg. So the Opera House is the ground floor there. The back part of that is where the opera house actually would be connected to. But if you see all those windows where you're looking, all of that is my space. So that's the commercial building.
From the plywood up, or just the top two?
The red door on the bottom, all the way up.
Oh, okay. So that's all yours, all 4 floors.
Yep.
That's
Wow.
just one of those buildings. That's picture number 1. Now let's look at picture number 2.
It's massive.
This thing is pretty big. We
Wow.
all got to get up here. This is fantastic.
Yeah. Oh, I can't wait for you guys to go. That's crazy. We caught a lot of stuff real time today. It was amazing.
Now, here's
Okay.
number 3.
Oh yeah.
Oh. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
Can't
before I
remember if
get to the
there's-
zoom in portion,
Okay.
Yeah, there's some images in that
Yeah.
reflective glass.
right?
But
So the one thing I want to point out about this is, so you got the blue sky. See that top right corner?
Mhm.
So the reflection of the glass is that blue sky, and some of that might be clouds. But if you look really close at the face that you see over there in the left pane,
Yep.
mm-hmm.
that's not on the exterior portion of the glass. That's on the interior portion of the glass.
Well, that's a great point, Chris, and that's a pretty detailed looking face and a
Yeah.
hair.
From
Oh,
that
wait.
far away. I mean, we were across the parking lot taking the trash out, and I looked up and I'm like, for whatever reason, and I'm like, the other 2, it's not in there. I can't remember if I sent you the other 2 for comparison, but where you're seeing that figure, that's a piece of wall right there, a blank piece of like drywall.
Is he wearing a hat?
It looks like it, doesn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it does look
does.
like it.
Mhm.
Does that say EVPI on that hat? No.
Now, if
should.
you look really, if
That's
you
where
look
my
really
hat was,
closely,
damn it.
Yeah,
That was our shameless plug.
I'll mail it back.
Yeah. That's fantastic.
Thank you. Yeah, it just validates because where that room is, it's a very small room. That's the ballroom's behind that, but right there is at the end of the theater. That's the dressing room, and that's where I had my first encounter there. And I picked up a woman and a man, and that's what we have on there. You know,
Now I know what it looks like. It looks like the Tin Man from Wizard of Oz.
it does. Oh my god, it does.
Wow.
You're right.
It does
It's
look
just the
like,
hat's like weird, like it's.
yeah, it does look like that.
But then again, I mean, if they're doing plays and stuff, they could have been dressed up like, who knows
Right,
what. So
period
Right.
costume, right. Yeah.
That's
we asked if they perform. They said, yeah. We said, okay, you love it here. Do you want people to come see you perform? And he said, oh yeah. I was like,
Oh, yeah.
It was the most excited, like.
That's cool.
That Tony brought up a really interesting angle to that too, because who's to say that that's not somebody in costume from
Mhm.
when they were actively using the location and not just the spirit who's lingering there in his normal form? That's really that adds a nice little twist to it.
Yeah, and we got even today we got a EVP, and this woman, she said, "I'm obsessed with the opera," and we're like, "Wow, okay."
Wow.
So this actually
Just-
caught my eye because I actually come from a performance background when I was in high school, and I was a singer, and I had a friend whose dad was from Chicago. He was a famous Chicago opera singer. And the reason I wanted to bring this up is a lot of the Chicago opera singers, Midwest opera singers, used to wear hats during their performances. And I wanted to bring that up so you can see those side by side.
Well, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, wow, look at that.
I mean, it's not dead on, but it's
Yeah,
very
but
close.
would there have been like different styles to it, or
Yeah,
is
they
it's
also
like
wore
not
a
just
style that was very similar to an old like velvet smoking hat, which would have
Okay.
been a flat top, rounded towards the middle, with a little like a fedora, like a fin, like a off of a graduation cap.
okay?
What are those things called? The
Tassel.
Tassel?
Yeah, the tassel. So
That's got a
imagine
little
the
bit of a
tassel.
fedora-ish look to it. There's a
Yeah,
little
I didn't know that though. That's good to know.
Yeah.
Great point, Chris. That I
Yeah,
was not aware of that.
Yeah. And the only reason I'm aware of it is because a lot of people don't know that Chris used to be a singer. Now it's
The
just
more
in
you
a
know.
tower in a living room. But
Yeah.
Can we get a sample, please?
Yeah, right.
Not on this show, no. Next time we're at the bar, that's fine.
That's the late night
All right,
show.
we're holding you to that.
All right.
I've never been accused of being shy. You guys have heard it
He's
before.
not shy.
You shy?
Yes, they
I
have.
don't think I've ever
No.
heard him sing. Have you?
No.
Yes. You guys were at Tailgaters that one night that they were doing karaoke one time.
No.
Yes, you did.
I'll sing for you, but probably all your audience would leave. So
I don't remember
I
that.
know. I didn't even know
I'll
that
save
there's
you.
karaoke and tailgaters.
I sang at Tailgaters.
Well, I don't mean for them, but yeah.
I mean,
I know you've seen, but you and I went there on a Wednesday night.
Yeah. I actually have sang quite a bit in my lifetime. But
Yep.
But anyway, the reason I brought that up was because I've had a lot of friends in the operas, and those hats are not uncommon. Let me go back to the picture.
Interesting.
yeah, it's just something I'm gonna have to watch out for now too. Like,
Yep.
you know, because when you go places, you kind of have to be aware of what what people would have worn then. Sing happy birthday, do it.
It's Steve's birthday today. Happy
That's
birthday,
right. Happy
Steve.
birthday,
That's
Steve.
right.
He's my age today.
Wow, happy birthday.
49. Wow.
49. Very young.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
Sure is.
Yeah, sure. That's very young. I agree with that, Cherie. Thank you.
Very young.
Very.
Okay, Kayla, tell us what that is.
Oh,
That's the front of the building that we were just looking at. So that is the sword.
Okay. Wow.
That's fantastic.
That's so pretty.
The pictures don't even do it justice, you guys. I'm telling you, it's. I walked in there. I was like, oh my god, I don't even have words. for
That's a
this
cool
place.
looking building.
Thank
Yeah.
you. Yeah, it's you can tell there's a lot of love in there, like a lot of residual. Like these people that were in there, I mean, they loved it. They loved it. And like a what?
A little bit. Like the Cecil Hotel.
Cecil Hotel.
Yeah,
Got some characteristics that are similar, yes.
It's
Well, it would have come from the same era. Yeah.
so this is 1893, and Paul Sorg opened it. And one of these floors, we don't know which one yet. That's the thing. Like, I want all these teams that are booked, like, to go through, and I want them to ask, like, what each room was. I have one room staged as a doctor because I get like a doctor, and then like somebody. This week I started getting this lady who's like it's about the sewing. She's like, it's you got to hem stuff and like the sewing, and I'm like, that doesn't make any sense. I'm like, a seamstress? I'm like, that wouldn't be in here, would it? And I'm
Oh,
like,
yes, it would.
Costume.
but then I'm going the opera,
Yep.
and I'm like, I got to get sewing stuff in there now,
Oh, yes,
and it's
it
just
would,
like they're
yeah.
yelling at me about the sewing, and I'm like, I don't know what you want.
Well, and opera singers would have been very particular about their dress.
Mhm.
So that
Okay.
had to have been a really good seamstress, especially back then, because there was no special effects. It was all about
Yeah,
the way
yeah.
they dressed. So she had to have been really good.
So that's a really good point then,
Yes.
because because it just took me. I think I realized like it clicked like Saturday night. I'm like, oh my god, I get it now. Okay, that would have maybe belonged in there.
Did they do ballet there too?
I don't know. I don't know. I ran into a lot of the information I'm getting is from locals.
Okay, so we don't. So sorry, Kayla, not to confuse
fine.
our audience, but so here's your shameless plug time. Your shameless plug is going to be longer than anybody else's because we got some pictures to go through because we really want to promote this for you.
Okay.
Tell us what you got and
What
why
I
we're
got.
talking about it. The Opera House, the Masonic. These are Kayla's buildings, y'all, and you can do paranormal investigations at these buildings.
Yes, and I want people to come in there too. I mean, there's endless questions that need answered. And what I'm talking about right now with like these different like jobs and stuff, I'm like, there's 29 rooms in there, not including the kitchen and the ballroom, the dressing room, and that stuff that's on the very top. Where you're seeing those giant windows up there.
Mm-hmm.
The other floors, those are all the rooms. And we're like trying to figure out what it was. We asked, like, was there like a nursery here? Yeah. I'm like, okay, so we need to bring some toys and stuff like that. So I just want people to go through, and I want everybody to like validate what I pick up. And so far I've brought 3 people through there, and everybody that walks in goes, there's a man and there's a woman. And I'm like, bingo. And then I actually read like a haunted website thing today where somebody goes, you'll see a female in the dressing room area. She's been reported many times. And I'm like, oh, you don't say, you know, like, I've seen her. Yes. And I had a lady that commented on my post when I post that picture of the sword. And she's like, oh, my husband, that's the Masonic Temple across the street. It's so beautiful. It's so beautiful.
Wow, that is fantastic architecture.
Yeah, yeah.
Really
and
is.
that's 10 years older than the Opera House.
Oh.
And if you see on the side of that, that's a bank. And they're actually connected through the basement. And the basement has like a hidden room. I mean, you know, they're masons, so there's weird stuff. It's like it's kind of like an optical illusion. It's like a room, and you can see the 3 walls, but then when you go around, it just looks like the basement. You're like, wait, I saw 3 wall, like a room. You know, how do I get into it? Or like, we thought about sliding like one of those little like cameras down there and see what. See what's going on.
And I want to point something out to some of our viewers, because those that have been watching for a while now know that I have a construction background on top of my law enforcement and everything else that we've done. But the reason these types of buildings and these older buildings just draw Audra and I in is 1883. This was built. Look at the craftsmanship. This was all hand done, guys. This was, I mean, the small details in the brick at the top, the small details at the bottom of that top window with the ledge and the brick design, the arch. And you wonder why these buildings today have so many spirits in them, because look how much love was put just in building these buildings back then.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
it was an art itself.
True craftsmanship. You put your heart and soul into what you're making, and look what they left behind for us to admire.
Right. Yeah, that's an artist's work.
Yeah. Oh my God, it's stunning, and I wish I could show you the inside, you know, but I gotta get video. So.
Yeah.
But the stained glass and everything's still intact. I mean, it's
wow.
I'm like, these buildings are gonna outlive us, you know, especially the Sorg. I'm like, it
They
needs some
already have.
love. It's been abandoned, or well, vacant. The top, they do shows down there, so the theater part is active. For the most part, but up here's been vacant. We think probably, I don't know, somewhere around like 30 years. So parts of the ceiling and stuff have come down, and a lot of stuff is, you know, we shoveled out a lot of debris, I'll say say that. And the elevator's broken, so we had to carry down all the stuff from the ballroom floor that had come down the ceiling, the bricks.
Oh, the elevators never freaking work.
I know.
No. And
Never.
I'm like, we got to carry these giant barrels of like bricks down like 4 flights of stairs, and then we have to take it across the parking lot. And I'm like, oh my God, I never want to move again. And that's kind of what the rooms are all looking like here. So it seems like for the most part, they have like a sink. And then like a radiator. It's kind of like a small, like a studio apartment or something.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah,
$8,000 a month in New York City, right there.
That's what I'm saying. Yes. I'm like, when I walked in, I'm like, I can't believe they're like not running this. You know what I mean? Like, I can't believe nobody's come in here.
Yeah, that's really nice. Big.
There's the Opera House, right?
So that's only one side. There's a divider door, and then the other side of it. So this is only half, but that's The stage was added later. You can tell that. But when you look at the floor, I just look at that and I'm going like, how many pairs of shoes have been on this? How many celebrations have happened in this room? Like, oh my God, it's like overwhelming going in there. And I'm like, okay, I love the dust and the dirt and the gross and everything, but like that floor, I have to clean. I have to clean that floor. I want to see it, and it's like, and it's radiance, you know. Yeah, look how much. I mean, there's like an inch of dust on that floor. You have no idea. It's crazy.
But you can still see the original stain to the floor too. The stain to that.
I mean, it's beautiful. And back there on the stage to the right, there's access to the dressing rooms. And so far, every man I've noticed that goes back there, for whatever reason I haven't figured out yet, but they get super uncomfortable. And I don't know if that's the woman going like, we don't want you back here. You know, people are changing, get out. Like, what are you doing? But every man that I've had back there is like, I'm good. I don't really want to go back. You know, like they're like, I don't feel like I'm supposed to be there.
Hey, real quick for everybody watching, it is 6 minutes until UNX switches over to the next audio program, but we are not done with Kayla yet. We've got plenty of promoting to do. We don't have as much evidence as we wanted to tonight because Kayla's like she said, the Masonic Temple keeps erasing her stuff. But I want to make sure that you guys see the history behind these two buildings and that you get a chance to get to Ohio to investigate this, because buildings like this don't exist much longer anymore. Because the ones that do exist, they're tearing down, except for people like Kayla and us that strive to keep it alive. So stick around. In about 6 minutes, they're going to be switching over, but we'll still be live on YouTube and Facebook. All right, Kayla, what's this?
Awesome, thank you. That is the entry into the building. So when you're going in through here. The other side, there's a wall right there, and then some storage. But the other side of that is the actual Opera House Theater. And so the guy that designed the actual building, he built the Cincinnati Music Hall also, which is a big, huge, big deal. So that's the tile and everything. That's very similar to what the inside of the theater looks like. But the upper balcony is, it's like wood benches, like real like shady looking, you know, like it's weird because they brought, I think, the actual seats on the first floor down from the Cincinnati Music Hall, I think is what it was. So then you're like, now we have the spirits from there and here, plus we have the original seats upstairs, you know, benches. But so you kind of have like a mixture going on in there. And the first time I went in there, the guy, Joe, one of the caretakers around there, and he's going, you know, and this and that, blah, blah, blah. And he's telling me, I'm so excited. And I'm going, you know what? Please stop. Because I'm like, literally, this lady won't shut up and I can't even hear what you're saying. You know, she's like, let me show you around. You know, and I'm like, oh my God, it's like overwhelming in here. But I think that's Paul Sorg's wife. And his office would have been in there. And she's very nosy as to what's going on, you know, and they also have the Masonic Temple. They take care of that too. So he told me, he said, I want you to ask for a guy. He goes, I don't believe in spirits. You know, I'm not really into it. And I'm trying to, you know, tell them what it is we do and stuff. And I go in there like, we have no idea. And he goes, yeah, I mean, it's cool and stuff, but I don't really believe it. But I've had one experience. I can't explain it.
I don't really believe it, but you know what? This one time.
Yeah, every time. And so he's telling me, you know, he's like, whenever he's in there and he's fixing stuff or he's trying to clean or whatever, and he's like, something grabs his hand. Like, no, you're not, you know, don't do that. Or like, I'll do it, you know. So he thinks that this was one of the Masonic Temple caretakers. And he said, I want you to ask for a guy named Steve. So on the video that I edited for 2 days, I got the name Steve many times. I got the name Steve on the video right while he was sitting next to me going, can you ask for Steve? You hear a woman go, Steve, you know, and I'm like, wow. Immediately as he's asking me, she's saying it, you know?
Yeah.
So that just is weird, like that telepathy, like, you know, like how they can kind of tell what you're going to say before you even get it out. God, I wish I had that video. It's crazy. And then
it's fantastic when you see people that believe, but they don't want to admit they believe because they think admitting to people like us is going to make them sound batshit crazy.
Yeah.
But when it comes right down to it, we did a private where the couple were standing in front of us and they said, well, you know, I don't want to sound crazy. I'm like, okay, you want me to sound crazy?
That's my favorite opener.
Yeah. I'll go, there's a guy standing down at the end of the hallway and he's staring at the back of my head. So if what you're about to tell me sounds more crazy than that, then go for it because I want to hear it.
Bring it. Yeah.
I called out his name. So it's always the ones that say, you know, I really don't believe, but. Oh, no, you just don't want to say you believe because then you feel like you're crazy. But
well, because people look at it and they're like, okay, it's woo woo. Like, you know, I'm not really into that. And people kind of discredit your mental state, you know. about a lot of that. So
yeah, just because we're dominating cable TV with a plethora of programs doesn't mean the negative halo is not dissipated yet.
Yeah,
it's still there.
Tell 'em,
It's still there,
tell 'em.
right? People still feel like they maybe shouldn't say something. That's still kind of ingrained in your psyche, you know. That
It is. But I mean, like the taboo is like at an all-time low right now, where people are like afraid to say it, and especially after COVID, when all these people were at home. My like residential cases went through the roof to the point where I'm going, I can't do it I'm delegating at this point because I'm like, I can't keep up. Everyone's sitting at home. They're going, oh, I've never noticed my cabinet open at 2:00 every day. And this and, and then they all have it on cameras.
I think the fantastic part about it is people are getting more spiritually connected, but we're seeing a metaphysical spike.
Yes.
In actual paranormal activity that we didn't see before because it was hush hush. We're not going to talk about it because unless it's on TV, it's not real.
Yeah, and you have to think once that many people, like as a collective, are kind of bringing that for you're manifesting that, you're bringing that forward. You're going, it's okay. We want to do this. We want to talk to you. We welcome you. And they're like, oh, okay, cool. Yeah, I'm not going to not take that chance.
Yeah. The best part is they're standing back there going, we've been here the whole time, asshole. You just haven't been paying attention.
Yeah. I knocked your wax warmer over. Pay attention. What else do I have to do?
Even your cat saw it. What else do I have to do?
Yeah.
On your app recording?
Oh my God. No, I have so many other videos and stuff. I wish I could like show you guys, but
that's all right.
We wouldn't have time.
Shameless.
Thank you so much. All right. So we open in a week, not even TikTok. We're getting there. So this Saturday from 4 to 6, we'll have the open house in the Masonic Temple. And then we're going to have like food and, meet and greet and stuff like that. So I'll have Eric from Epic Paranormal, Sean Austin. I have Kristen, my friend from Bel Air House. She's going to be there. And we're going to split up and we're going to do both locations. $60 gets you in both.
Wow.
That's good.
Yeah. So you have your meet and greet, you have your food, you have your investigation. We have, between the four of us, we have a lot of really good gear, and I'm excited to like show everybody and let everybody see what all we have collectively. And there's a lot of people who are like, I want to come out and support you. I've never done paranormal before. I have no idea what we're even doing, and they're like, is it a haunted house? Like something's going to jump out at me? Or like, I'm like, no, I mean, maybe, but no.
Yeah, but it's real.
Yeah, but everybody's really excited for it. And we still have some spots. We still have availability. So if anybody's interested, you can send me a message through the Dayton Haunted Explorers Facebook page. And if you're interested in booking it privately, you can do that through DaytonHauntedExplorers.com. And on there is a request form, more information about both buildings, the calendars on there, everything. So you can do all that there.
And for everybody watching this event that you're seeing here on the screen right now for the first, that $60 is just worth those 4 people standing down at the bottom.
I know.
Yeah.
Right.
For 2 locations too. I'm like, oh my God, if this was me, I'd be on it.
Yeah.
You don't get on that cheap. You just don't like.
No, that's fantastic.
It may be a contest or a prize for anybody who gets video out of the lodge.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea. That's
There you
not
go.
a
I
bad
like
idea.
Here's
Free
the problem.
t-shirt.
It'll be Sean.
Huh?
It'll be Sean.
It'll be Sean. Sean will get the damn video out of the lodge.
Probably will be. I said we were trying to get in there today. They were doing some cleaning and stuff, and I said if we go in there, I said one thing I want you to do. I want you to go in there and take some video. Okay, get in there and get some video for me.
Yeah.
Because he's a man. That's what I thought, and especially because I can't remember who said it. Because you're a woman, makes sense. But I'm going if you can get it, it's worth a shot.
Yeah.
I want to pump that again one more time. $60.
Yes. Especially now. I'm going, everyone's hurting, everyone's broke. Like that's okay. So I recently just got my LLC. So we're getting official, and I've been doing the events and stuff and teaching people for a couple of years now. And I love doing it. I love teaching. Nothing makes me happier than a first timer in there. Like, like that's what I do it for, because I just love that reaction. So I've always kept my tickets very low. I know a lot of places would charge triple that. you know, and I know because I have been a solo investigator for the most part, I would have to pay $500 to go to somewhere for a night. I could never afford it, you know? So I want other people to have the same experience, a good experience. I'm not an idiot. Like I don't do, you know, we're not going in there like doing stupid stuff, but I know there's not a right way and a wrong way, but I feel like I'm going to give them the tools to succeed. I want to teach them the right way, the respectful way, which we always talk about. You catch more flies with honey, right? So you go in, and I'm like, there are more than enough, you know, nice normal spirits in there. We don't need to go in there and do anything crazy or anything.
Right.
So.
Well,
That's
and what Kayla's saying here, guys. You got Kayla, you got Sean, you got Eric, and you got Kristen. So on top of two 1800s locations that have phenomenal spirits in it, you've got psychic mediums, you've got an experienced paranormal investigator, you've got a way experienced paranormal investigator out of all four. And then with Sean, you've got a demonologist with the group too there. I mean, that is a phenomenal, just a lead panel there before you even get to the locations themselves. That's just phenomenal.
Mhm.
I mean, I wish you were in Ohio this weekend is what I wish.
Yeah, you guys come on out.
I would love
Gotta
to.
go.
And also cool, we pointed this out with places we go to, like the Shanley Hotel and stuff. When somebody takes control of locations to run and book them, offering it both privately and publicly, and they've been in your investigative shoes before, they know the experience they would like to have. They know the affordability factors of it with buying equipment and travel and everything else. And so what you're doing for the community who can come out there at that price point out of the gate, I think is phenomenal. That's very caring for a member of the community to offer back to it. So I think that's a huge thing to point out, is that price point is not just a dollar savings thing, but it speaks volumes for the long-term goal of what you're doing and not just a cash grab.
No, not at all. That makes me like, because I've always done it that way, you know, because I feel like everyone deserves the chance. It's around us. It's just a matter of, you know, understanding it and not being afraid of it. And like, everyone deserves the opportunity, you know, and I want to give that to people. And we really don't have a lot of places in Ohio. So once I open those, everyone's like, yay, we don't have to drive like 3 hours, you know? So I really hope that they do well. And I want to thrive in the community. And Post Town, the elementary school, which I've done events there like every month for like the last couple of years. I mean, that's 15 minutes down the road. So you can come for a weekend, you can hit all three. I mean,
wow,
That's awesome.
That's good. And Chris was right also about that's an elite level group of people, all four of you, who are involved in that. And the educational part you get with that $60 ticket with those two locations is a huge value too, because we always talk about those of us who've been doing this for a certain amount of years. It is upon us to pass on what we know and what we don't know, what we think is right, what we think is wrong. And you have to get the general public, the people who are new at this, out of that exoteric kind of just what the public gets through media and bring them into a more esoteric place where they're more of an insider. They have a little bit more of the savvy that comes with experience. And that's a lot of experience with the four of you guys on that panel too. Also huge, huge value.
thank you.
It's a great panel, no doubt about it. The only one I'm not personally familiar with is Eric, but
Okay,
Kayla,
yeah,
I know
Eric's done
know,
YouTube and everything. So
Sean, and of course Kristen, we've been friends with for years.
yeah,
But just a wealth of experience there. But you're absolutely right to give people who have been watching shows on TV and get the actual hands-on experience to do it firsthand at a location where you know there's activity for a reasonable price, and that's awesome.
That is a huge reasonable price.
Mhm.
And I want to I mean, Ron touched base on this a little bit too, is, you know what, we've come to a point in America. I'm not going to get political on you guys because I'm a true patriot and I get a little sensitive when it comes to it, but giving back to blue collar America is huge right now. And Middletown, Ohio, I can tell you right now, they don't see that. And to have groups come in with Kayla and, you know, Sean and Kristen and Eric, and good Lord, to have the groups come in that can come in. Not only do you feed what Kyla's trying to do here and save those old historic places that we all dearly love, but you're also feeding that dollars back into the local community there at Middletown, and that is huge right now because we've got to maintain our foundation in America, and this is one way to do it.
Oh,
and
yeah.
that to me is just phenomenal.
And the thing I've noticed is
fantastic and phenomenal all at the same time. Phenomenal.
Your words today are just stellar.
Sorry, guys, I'm exhausted. And I keep
It's all right.
on my own tongue.
I'm professional sleep drunk. I get it. I know. I like say stuff, and then I'm like, well, that even makes sense.
I'm a professional weight drunk, but that's not the problem right now. That's not.
Yeah. No, but I mean, even especially through COVID, though, I know a lot of places took a hit, and I was just telling somebody about this today. But like the historical societies and like small little places like museums and stuff like that, like local places, all took a hit because they were closed during COVID. Nobody was making money. They couldn't keep them open, and I'm like, this is America. This is our history in here. Like, people need to see this, and I'm like, how opposed are you to doing paranormal? You know, because I can help you. We can bring it in. Not everybody is what you see on TV. You know what I mean? Like, it's what you're seeing on TV and movies is to shock you and scare you. And I'm like, what we're doing really is talking. For me, I like to talk to the spirits and say, like, oh my God, was this your can of Coke? Was this your favorite drink while you were alive? And then we and if they say yes or no, it's like, there you go. Somebody who's never experienced paranormal before would be like, oh my God, it just said yes. It responded to you. Like, it would blow their mind. And that's dumb, but you get what I mean.
Right. Yeah.
I'm going, the opportunity's there. You just have to understand and be willing. And what I'm hoping, because I do know like the people with these locations, they are like nervous, they're like, what's it going to be like? What are they going to do in here? And all I can do is reassure. I'm like, the community, these people are very open-minded, and everybody's, for the most part, very loving. And it is a very good community. Like, I'm like super fortunate to be a part of this. And when I started, I didn't know what my purpose was in paranormal. I had no idea. And through meeting everybody, I learned, everything. And then I teach others, and now I'm here with these buildings, and I'm like, what happened? Like, it all overnight, it's crazy.
Yeah. If it helps even from a reference point of view too, I'm happy to put you in contact with the folks from White Hill Mansion in Jersey, because one of the things, two things. One is the most respectful and high showing of any kind of reverence to the locations are paranormal investigators. For the most part, 99% of the community goes out. Those are the people who respect and have reverence for the history and the places.
Yep.
Two, during the pandemic, places like White Hill Mansion, which is 1723?
1723.
So 56 before this was the United States of America. The only reason they had any income at all was from private paranormal teams coming in. They didn't have bake sales. There were no muffins on the front lawn while somebody did Shakespeare. None of that stuff happened. It was ghost hunting. So you could let them know that these are places that are on the historical registry who survived that time.
That's not a bad idea, to kind of showcase the other, the other places. Right. Like, they're success stories. It's amazing because I'm going, yes, you could do that fundraiser. You could do that, and that's awesome. And yes, if you make like $200 or something, that's great. But I'm going, we can get people in here for a weekend, and we can seriously help you.
Yep.
And the people who are like oh my God, I can't words. The people who care about the buildings want to see them improved. People want them taken care of. People want to help with that and put the money towards that. You know what I mean? So volunteers, cleanup, Dave, stuff like that. The people with their heart in the right place are going to be there. They're going to help you.
Yeah, Chris and Audra have done that in a short span of time that they moved to the East Coast from Arizona. They were already in a place. They're already preserving history. They're already bringing in revenue they didn't have before. So you're in good company just with the people who are in the square above you if you're seeing it the same way we're seeing it.
I'm seeing
and Tony and Cherie were doing it at Aho when they had Felt Lodge also. So that's
you guys at Shanley. So I think it's a widespread feeling in the paranormal community for sure.
Yeah.
Well, and the reason it's in the paranormal community, it's not just to save the history and remember where we came from and what built the nation to what it is today. It all comes down to 10 years from now, who's going to want to investigate an old abandoned Taco Bell?
That's it. Only two of us.
I'll pick you up, Brian. I'll pick you up.
Yeah. Yo Quiero. What? Yo Quiero.
Oh, no,
I can't even say it.
no.
Give it up, buddy.
I have my K dose. K
Oh
dose.
my God, that's hilarious.
That's
Of all things, you say Taco Bell. You know, Bubby's the Taco Bell dog. Just so you know. He loves Taco Bell. It's his favorite.
That's funny.
All right, guys. Well, we hate to cut you short. We want to say thanks for everybody that stopped by tonight to see Kayla. I've been saying it 3 or 4 different ways tonight, but it's because I just can't focus for some reason tonight. It's
I
not the
forgive
first
you. It's
time.
okay.
Carol Garcia, Courtney Peterson, Katie Holte, Frank Barone. Who else? We got Melissa Blackman. She's always fantastic.
She's good.
Wendy Hayes.
Say that again.
Wendy Hayes.
Wendy Hayes, Scott
And a
Reddick.
big happy birthday to Steve Holte.
Again.
Holte.
Yeah.
Happy birthday.
Be a bud because
Tomorrow,
that would
it's
just
her
be weird.
birthday.
Whose birthday?
Katie. Katie.
Oh.
Tomorrow it's her birthday.
Katie Holte?
Happy birthday.
Tomorrow?
Her birthday is
Happy
right
birthday.
after Steve's.
Yes.
Yeah, a day apart.
They're a day apart.
Sure,
Wow.
you sing happy birthday to him, won't you?
Huh?
Now's your time to shine.
Now's your time to shine. Sing happy birthday to both of them.
No, you.
Me? You want me to
Yeah,
sing?
Cherie.
No. I don't want people to discover me.
Her face, she said.
This gold will stay buried, mother.
Oh
That
my
was
God.
an awesome answer.
Trying to say so modest. Yes, yes.
That was
I
an
gotta
awesome
start using that.
That's fantastic. All right, we'd like to thank Kayla for coming out, and don't forget Middletown, Ohio, the Opera House, the Masonic Lodge, October 1st. You got Kristen, you got Sean, you got Eric, you got Kayla, all at one shot in 2 locations. Kayla, did you quit? Good God.
I see her. I keep watching her go.
You know what? Nobody would have freaking noticed if you didn't point it out.
I don't need to say anything because she's giving you the look, so it's fine.
Chris, just have fun with it now. We want to thank Kayvon for being
We'd
here.
like to thank Kayvon. We'd like to thank AA Ron.
Well, anyway, to Audra, I wanna
Mr.
give you
Johannesy.
this.
Thank you for stopping by. Balaki was here. Kayla,
You're
thank
cut
you
off.
for stopping by.
You're cut off.
All right, guys.
But in all seriousness, I'm glad I got to see you guys, and I
I'm
hope
glad I got
everybody
to
can
It
make
was
it
great
out.
having you back on again.
Next
Great.
time I see you, I'll have tons of evidence. So
Awesome.
It
Wait
just won't
for
be
it.
from the Masonic Lodge. 'cause
Not
the
from
people
there.
racing that shit.
from my home, no.
All right, guys. If you want to pronounce people's names wrong, you got to join EVPE every Monday night and watch Chris look like an idiot. If you want to experience great people and shoot great locations, you have to go to Middletown, Ohio. You have to see Kayla, and you have to stay haunted. All right, guys. Have a good night. We'll see you next week.
Hi.